Hey guys, I am here, and I know it's been a while since I got back from my half marathon, but I haven't really had the time to put this video together. But I did put a video together for you guys to show you sort of the excitement of my trip and what running that race was really like, because it was pretty mind-blowing. So here we go! Good morning. I am at the airport, and it's an hour till my flight. It's 4 in the morning, and nothing is open. I did not eat breakfast. I have not had coffee, so I'm hoping to board the plane in an hour and just go to sleep, because that will make me feel better. And then this happened. So once I finally landed out in Columbus, Ohio, my friend Sarah and her boyfriend came and picked me up, and we drove 2 hours down into Lexington, where we got to the race expo. The next morning, it was go time. It's race morning. We just finished breakfast and we're heading out to the course.
You excited?
Excited.
What about you?
Hello.
We're here!
It's the starting gate.
Somewhere along the line, we met up with some friends of Sarah's who had a giant bottle of bourbon, and they all said that taking a quick shot of it was good luck. I didn't really want to have bad luck on my first half marathon, so of course I participated. Bourbon for luck. Then it was time to get in our wave, and we were in the 6th wave, which was the last wave, because I'm not the fastest runner, but I am a runner. And as we got closer to the starting gates, luckily we had Jeff there to record us running across the line. It was awesome.
2, 1, go!
So once we got across the start line, we headed out onto the course. The first couple of miles were sort of flat and not any more than what I was really used to in Minnesota, but the rolling hills of Kentucky did not disappoint, as the hills became quite a challenge as we went on. But in the beginning of the race, here's some of the stuff that we saw, some of the exciting moments that I went through, and as you can tell, I was still pretty excited.
Mile 1. Hit mile 2.
Had it just shy of 3 miles.
The wind was pretty light, but it was starting to pick up, which made things a little bit difficult, but we managed. There was so much pretty stuff to see, you guys. It was such a gorgeous course. I can't even begin to explain it, and I don't think I nearly captured it enough on these videos. But as we went on, things kept getting exciting.
The 7 mile just split off. We are officially doomed to 13.1 miles. We've made our choice. We just hit halfway up that hill. Worth it.
Running the race felt pretty awesome. I really don't think that I struggled too much on here, and I was really terrified of these hills. So being able to get up and down them with relative ease was pretty good for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was still really challenging, but I was just so wrapped up in it being race day and having that 20 weeks of training behind me. I was so proud of everything that I had accomplished. And when I hit the middle of the race, I could barely believe that I was halfway done with this thing already. It was pretty awesome.
Mile 8.
Mile 9 was actually supposed to be one of the most challenging hills on the entire course, and thankfully we had a little help to get up the hill.
You hear that? They're playing bongos. just a little hill. Mile 9 back there. Almost there.
A little while later, we ran across some really gorgeous horses, and I did my best to not really stop too much while running this because I really wanted to get a true time while I was out on the course. But when you see these amazing horses running right alongside of you, you kind of have to stop and just take it all in for a couple seconds.
White stallion.
Of course, right as we hit mile 11, there was a lovely gentleman standing there holding out cups of beer. So, you know, running, carbs, sugar, you need a little bit of replenishment, so why not?
Mile 11. Beer.
Very shortly after we got through the beer stop at mile 11, I kind of quit recording because the wind really picked up and I started kind of struggling a little bit more than I had expected. I really hit a wall around mile 11, and the wind blowing directly as it was starting to go up in speed, and it was getting really, really difficult to beat the mental game at that point. Running is so mental at times, and I knew I wanted to finish this race strong, but I was really feeling out of energy. I didn't really feel like my legs could carry me much further. But luckily I had my friend Sarah there with me, and she kept pushing me on and encouraging me, and I had this determination in me to see this goal to completion. So I took a few more walking breaks than I really wanted to, but I gave it my all, and I made it across that finish line.
I just crossed the finish line at 2:53. That is more than 10 minutes off of my last half. I'm freaking out, and I love this girl for getting me here.
Yeah, I'll admit I cried when I got across the finish line. It was so cool to have set this goal for myself and pushed myself through it. And really the only person responsible for this whole thing was me. I was in charge. I was in charge of my training. I was in charge of putting my one foot in front of the other and getting out that door to make sure that I made the best use of my body to make sure that I could make it carry me across that finish line when I got there. And that feeling of accomplishment when you were the one who set the goal and you were the one to push yourself through there, you can't pay for anything like that. It's just incredible, and it's still one of the best feelings that I think I've ever had. Naturally, next there were celebrations, and the first thing that we did is we went to something called Bourbon School, where we got to learn a little bit about bourbon, and more importantly, we got to drink a bit of bourbon.
So all alcoholic beverages are made from yeast fermenting sugars. That produces alcohol. The different categories of alcoholic beverages.
Naturally, the night digressed into a lot of dancing and some more drinking and celebration. So we loaded up the car and we headed down to Ashland, Kentucky, where I spent some time with my friend Sarah and her boyfriend, and then it was back to Columbus for my flight home. Hello, Fred. It is Sunday, and I am back in Columbus, waiting for my flight to go home. My legs hurt so bad, but it was totally worth it, and I would do it over a bajillion times. I'm anxious to go home and see my husband and see my kitties and sleep. We were up partying at the after party until a little after 1 last night, and I am exhausted. I am 20s partying kid in college levels of exhausted, and my flight doesn't get here for another 2 hours. So I am killing time. Probably gonna go to the bar. And then once I get on the plane, I am going to pass out so hard. I am going to sleep so hard and wake up whenever I feel like it tomorrow. This has been crazy. Yeah, this has been crazy. It's been awesome. And I can't wait to do it again. And that's how I know I'm insane. Run the Bluegrass was incredible. I could not express to you guys how beautiful the course was, how incredible everything was, from the expo to race day to the post party. It was completely worth everything, and it was absolutely everything I expected it to be and more. I am incredibly proud of myself for going through with this and really, pushing myself to do something I said I would never do. Back when I started running, I ran a 10K and I said that people who ran half marathons were insane and that I would never be strong enough to do that, and I would never be a good enough runner to be able to do a half marathon. And I did it. I still can't quite believe it, and I cannot wait to do this again. I cannot wait to push myself and try this, because now I know I'm capable, and it's all uphill from here.